Hey, welcome into another episode of the Seahawker Show with your host, Todd Fox. That is me. Please like and subscribe. Share with another Seahawk fan if you like it. Tell me where I'm right, where I'm wrong. I'm no Colin Coward. I don't say this, the Ravens are going to go 16-0, and they're 6-5 currently. I tell it like it is. I tell the flaws, the good points, bad points of the Seahawks and whatnot. So I'm right down the middle. So we'll get to this video real quick, and I'll tell you my criticism about even if the Seahawks win this game. So let's get started. Tell you about the New York Football Giants as we come into week 2 of our week 4 schedule of inferior football teams that the Seahawks will be playing. And I actually believe that the toughest game in these 4 games that they've played or that they will play is the Washington Redskins in 2 weeks, but I digress. We'll get into that one. But with this game coming up with no Daniel Jones, there's no Jeff Hostetler, no Phil Simms, no Eli Manning coming through that tunnel. It's going to be Colt McCoy. Yes, you heard it right, Colt McCoy. The same Colt McCoy that beat Touchdown Jesus, if you remember, when he was with the Cleveland Browns and he was quarterbacking the Browns to, but the worst football game I've ever watched. Not just for the Seahawks play, but the worst game I've ever watched. Most boring, most just disgusting display of football ever by both teams, which was the Cleveland Browns versus the Seattle Seahawks, Charlie Whitehurst versus Colt McCoy. That was a brutal 6-3 win by the Cleveland Browns. But I digress again. This game right here, the Giants, Colt McCoy, this is about almost 10 years later. He's quarterbacking the Giants because of Daniel Jones' injury. He is nothing special. Now, in this game, I figured the Seahawks to win outright. I don't think the Seahawks should lose this game by any stretch of the imagination. I think that I will be severely disappointed if the Seahawks don't win by double digits or more. You know, if they're not winning by 10 points, there's something wrong. I think that Eagles game, it was a fluke touchdown at the end, but there's no reason to see the final score should have been 23-17. Seattle dominated that game. They left a lot of points on the board, and they also gave up a stupid touchdown, which they shouldn't have given up, and a 2-point conversion to make it a lot closer than it should have been. And again, it just comes down to what if, because they had a chance at an onside kick at the end. I'm tired of these games. As a Seahawks fan, especially the next 2 weeks with the Giants and Jets, these should be blowouts. This is a team that used to blow out their opponent Super Bowl year, the year prior to that, the year after that when they lost in the Super Bowl, and even the year after that when the team started to break up. They were still blowing out their opponents at times, and their defense was good. Their defense has been better this year than the last 4 weeks, racking up over 19 sacks. The team has been playing better coverage, obviously because they've been getting better pass coverage and forcing the quarterback out of the pocket or into scrambling situations. The Seahawks running game has gotten a boost with Chris Carson back and Carlos Hyde back, which has taken some of the pressure off of Russell Wilson. DK Metcalf has gotten better. He spread the ball around. My only concerns is that that Wilson does not forget about Hollister and the tight ends, and also forgetting about our boy Lockett. You can't forget about Lockett. We also got Josh Gordon coming back. He got reinstated finally. And then we have David Moore, who's been playing outstanding all year as well too. So we have definitely the weapons to win this game, to win any game, basically. I feel the Seahawks are getting into that upper echelon, and you have the Saints playing the Falcons this week in Atlanta, and with Taysom Hill not throwing the football, I don't think they can get away with that stuff against Atlanta. So there's a very good chance that Atlanta could beat them because they've been playing good football, and the Packers are going to be playing the Redskins. They should take care of them. So why am I bringing up those 2 teams? Because if that happens, the Saints lose and the Packers win and we take care of the Giants, there's a 3-way tie at top of the NFC for the best record. And we all know the best record gets a bye week. So on only one team, not 2, only one team gets the bye this year because of the extra playoff team. Keep that in mind. So let's move on real quick. There's not much to talk about in this game. I'm not going to go into great detail. There's no Saquon Barkley. There's no Eli Manning. There's no Daniel Jones. Their defense is something to talk about. They will have a pass rush at times. Their corners are very weak at best. They can be thrown upon, so look for DK or Lockett to have a big game in this game, and the running game for Seattle to do some damage, hopefully. Let's get to what they do right, and this is what they do right early in the game. I'm going to go into some highlights from Cincinnati last week when they get the win. This is Daniel Jones. This is what they would have had Daniel Jones been playing, and that is the opportunity to go deep.
Bengals rush 5. Jones floats it for Ingram down the sideline. He's got
Evan Ingram. They also have a very familiar receiver over there, Golden Tate.
Inside the 5 by Von Bell. Cuddle quickly. The turn, the give to Goldman into the end zone for the touchdown.
Goldman is a very underrated running back, so if he had a couple nice runs. Granted, it was against the Cincinnati Bengals defense, which isn't that good, but Goldman is a running back that we're going to have to watch. Now, running backs really don't scare me in Pete Carroll's defense because there hasn't really been a running back outside of Rhodes from Minnesota that's really torched us. It's usually the passing game that has beat us up. So I'm not worried about the running game. So that's why I'm not worried about this game, because if you look at their passing game, it's suspect before Daniel Jones got hurt, and now it's just terrible.
Fourth down. The Giants grab the early lead.
A little bit different or different.
This is again Daniel Jones in the game.
Offensively, nothing changes.
On 3rd and 6, Jones airing it deep down the sideline. Oh, what a catch by Evan Ingram. Secures it and rolls all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Hold hand
Now this is Colt McCoy.
strain for Jones. The give and the tackle.
You see the difference there? With Daniel Jones in the game, you have to respect the pass. With Colt McCoy in the game, look how many Bengals are right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the line. And he's not going to get much on the ground because they're playing the ground game. Right now, the Giants in that game were trying to milk the clock. So, again, here's Colt McCoy.
Backfield, Morris brought down by Von Bell. Bengals bring pressure. He had Morris.
Now, again, he was blitzed in that game, or in that play right there. Whoops, let me go back here. My bad. So he was blitzed in that game, or in that play, and he literally just threw the ball to the sideline. He had the guy wide open. He could have did something a lot better, and didn't miss the running back. He could have walked in. The Bengals didn't respect Colt McCoy on that play or any other play that he was in the game. And the Giants were super lucky to get away with that victory, 19-17. They actually won the game. The Bengals had the ball at midfield with 56 seconds left to go to try to get the tying field goal. But Allen, the backup quarterback, was sacked and fumbled, and the Giants recovered. So, point being this, the Giants are an inferior team. Let's just, they're 4-7, first place in the NFC East, tied with, I believe, the team from Washington. This should be an easy victory for the Seahawks. Like I said, it should be. The home field advantage, like if the 12s were there, this would be a huge blowout. It should have been. But I'm predicting more along the lines of like, look, if I want to be PC about it, 27-17, Seahawks, by 10. I just don't see the Giants scoring 17 points. I really don't. I think the Seahawks defense, whether Dunlap plays or not, I think is good enough to put a good enough pass rush on Colt McCoy. They're not going to be able to run the ball unless there's special teams or defensive flukes that the Giants get. This game should not be close at all. This should be a Seahawks blowout. So if I'm thinking PC, I'm thinking 27-17, even though I don't believe the Giants will score 17. I think with Daniel Jones, that's more realistic. But if I'm thinking Colt McCoy, now I'm thinking, God damn it, the Seahawks deserve a blowout win. They deserve some kind of easy thing where in the fourth quarter we don't need Carlos Hyde out there or Chris Carson or DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. We're out there with our reserves and playing Geno Smith, just handing the ball off, running the clock out. We deserve, and they deserve, a victory like that. So I'm thinking more along the lines of a 34-10 Seahawks victory. I just don't see anything closer than that. So that's my pick for this game. Tell me what yours is. 34-10. This one's going to be disappointing. Like I said, if it winds up like a 27-24 game somehow or a 20-17 game somehow, I'm going to be severely look, a win's a win. I get it. But I'm tired of these little butt clinchers to where the team has another shot at the end to tie it or take the lead. No. This team needs a get-right blowout game, and they need another one next week. So give me the Seahawks all day in this one. We're going to go to 9-3. The Giants should get a loss and go to 4-8. So that's my video. Let me know if you agree or disagree. This has been the Seahawker Show. I'll give you a recording of the, or I'll give you a highlight show of hopefully a blowout win for the Seahawks on Monday. Till then, go Hawks.